Welcome yogis, namaste. This is our class on the throat chakra. So we'll begin in seated. Find a tall, comfortable seat. Close your eyes. Take a full breath in through your nose. Hold. Open mouth, exhale. And again, full breath in through your nose. Hold. Sigh it out. And one more. Inhale, fill all the way up. Hold. And sigh it out. Okay, settle into an easy breath. Watching your breath roll in and roll out. Heavy in your seat, light in your spine, calm in your mind. Okay, draw your hands to heart center. Bow your head just slightly and offer an intention into your practice. And then release your hands, open your eyes, and start with some big, juicy shoulder shrugs. Okay. And then you can relax the shoulders down. Take your right arm out to the side. Good. And lower your left ear to your left shoulder as you externally rotate the right arm. So turning the whole arm. And then bring your head back to neutral. Turn your palm face down. Okay, so again, turn the palm forward and then up. Keep rotating. And we're going to do that 3 more times. So 1. Keep breathing. 2. And 3. Come back to center, set both palms down on your knees, and just do glides of the rib cage 3 times in one direction, and then 3 times in the other direction. Okay, come back into center. Take your left arm out to the left, lower right ear to right shoulder. As you externally rotate the arm, you can even hinge at your wrist as you do that. And then back to center. That's first of 5. So there's 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come to center, sit tall, and then roll your rib cage around 3 times. One direction, 3 times the other direction. Awesome. Lift up, inhale, take your fingertips to the earth and fold forward a little or a lot. Be still or move side to side. So what does truth have to do with yoga? Well, in Patanjali's sutras, one of the yamas, which are observances that practitioners are instructed to follow, is Satya. Satya meaning truthfulness. And the root word of Satya is Sat. And interestingly enough, that translates to the absolute. So there's this connection between absolute and truth, right? And I kind of like that because something is either true or it's not, or something can have so much truth to it that it is absolute. Just switch the cross of your legs, doesn't matter which one is in front, just switch it. And now we'll do both arms, and we're going to work on your sternal kite. This is right here, this kind of thuddy part of your chest if you were to tap it. So think of this action as happening from the very top of your funny bone where it moves into the shoulder, and rotate the palms up and back as you open your throat. Take an inhale. And then roll the arm bones forward so the upper back and the chin curls in. Exhale. We're going to do that a couple of times. So just keep breathing. That's the exhale on the way down and the inhale on the way up. So speech, our words, is probably one of our most human activities. Parents are eagerly awaiting the words of their first child. And then paradoxically, once the child starts speaking, they just can't wait for a moment of silence. And our words convey the big moments in our life. They announce birth, they announce death, everything in between. They can inspire, they can frighten, they can delight. So anything that is that pervasive in our experience as a human, of course, there's an opportunity there for that to be part of our yoga practice. Our whole life has the potential to be part of our yoga practice. Okay, come to center, inhale, reach your arms overhead, and exhale, fold forward any amount, either be still or take some side to side movement. And being truthful can be really, really scary. Truth doesn't require us to change who we are. Speaking the truth requires us to be who we are. And when we step into our authenticity, that is when we are most powerful. It's also when we're most vulnerable. All right, slowly come all the way up and make your way to all fours, tabletop. Spread your fingers wide. And a couple of cat-cows. Inhale, open your chest, lift your sitting bones. Exhale, push down and round. 2 more times. Inhale. And exhale. Last one for the road. Breath in. And breath out. Okay. Come to neutral. Curl your toes under. Energetically hug the arms together as you float your knees. Floating tabletop posture. Spread through your fingers. Keep breathing. Draw the ribs in. And feel the back of your heart reach forward. Go ahead, take one more inhalation. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Okay, yogi's choice. We're here for a bit. If you want to paddle out your feet or rock side to side or be perfectly still. And then an easy walk all the way forward to the front of your mat for a rag doll. And with a pretty good bend in your knees, interlace fingers behind your skull to traction some length in your neck. And you don't need to pull down. The weight of the arms is enough with gravity to support this lengthening, this tractioning. And release your hands. It's a slow roll up for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Once again, shrug your shoulders back. Okay. Inhale, arms lift up. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, long flat back. Exhale, step back, high plank pose. Okay. Hold in your high plank, get really long, full breath in. Lower knees, chest, and chin. Exhale. Press your pubic bone down to lift your chest Cobra on the in-breath. And exhale, glide back to downward facing dog. Okay, dog pose for 3 cycles of breath. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. Exhale. Last breath in. And last breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop all the way up. Right into your flat back. In breath. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, arms lift towards the sky. And hands to heart center. Exhale. 2 more. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Step back, high plank pose. Spread the fingers, strong shoulders, full breath in. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Pull forward, cobra. And exhale back to downward facing dog. This time 2 cycles of breath. Inhale 1. Exhale completely. Inhale 2. And exhale. Okay. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, walk, step, or hop. Halfway lift. Soften the belly and fold and root to rise. Arms lift towards the sky. Hands to heart center. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift and step back, high plank. Full breath in, get long. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Inhale, Bhujangasana. And exhale, downward facing dog. 1 breath in and 1 breath out. Inhale, bend your knees, look forward. Exhale, journey to the front of the mat. Extend your chest and fold. Arms lift towards the sky and hands to heart center. Okay, feet hip width apart and parallel. Sit back into chair pose, Utkatasana. And exhale, soften a little lower into your seat. So there'll be a tiny lift on the in-breath. And then a softening when you breathe out. And don't wait for my cue to breathe. Just let your body lift and lower with your own breath. We all have this conflict within us. We all have this burning desire deep, deep within us to be authentic, to be authentically seen, which does require our truth. But we also have this need, this primal need to belong. Exhale, fold. And our egoic mind tells us sometimes that in order to belong, we have to step out of our truth, to change part of what we understand about ourselves to accommodate someone else's perception. We want to fit in at any cost. Just remember what high school was like. Halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, step back, high plank. Take a full breath in, high plank. Shift forward and lower all the way down. Take your arms back by your side and lift for locust pose. You can ground your feet or lift your legs, your choice, but you're pulling your heart forward. 2 breaths to go. Inhale 1. Ujjayi, exhale. Inhale 2. And exhale, plant your palms. Press up to plank on your knees, breathe in. Downward facing dog, Ujjayi, exhale. So our path as practitioners, our practice is to observe our need for belonging and use our truth, our authenticity, as a way to foster connection. Yoga being all about connection. Yoga meaning to yoke, to connect. Tap your knees down, come to all fours, tabletop posture. Send your right leg straight back. Take a full breath in. Shift forward, lower your chest and chin. Exhale. That right leg will lift up like a big tail. Straighten the arms. Inhale. Pull your knee to your nose. Exhale, round. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower chest and chin. Straighten the arms, breath in. And knee to nose, shrug. Last time, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower. Inhale, straighten the arms. Knee to nose, breathe out. Curl the left toes under. Right leg lifts for down dog split. Lift the leg high, square off your shoulders. Good. Pull the ribs in. Take one more inhale. Lift the right leg any amount higher. Good. And a big step all the way through. Lower your left knee. Take your arms overhead, palms facing forward. Back up slightly, breathe in. Cactus the arms, exhale, lunge. Lift your chest. Inhale, back up. Exhale, cactus the arms, deepen your lunge. One more, inhale and exhale. Inhale, reach your arms towards the sky, a little pause. Curl the back toes under and rise to high crescent lunge all the way up, nice and tall. A full breath in your high crescent. Open warrior two, exhale. Okay, so just like we started class in seated, we're gonna do this in warrior two. So turn to face the open side, which is your left side if your right foot is forward. And turn the palms face up. Externally rotate the arm bones so the chin lifts, breath in. And then roll the arms forward, tuck your chin, breathe out. Two more times, inhale, open. And exhale, shrug, stay deep in your lunge. Last one, inhale and exhale. Okay, come to neutral gaze forward. Straighten the right leg, shorten stance if you need to, and reach forward for triangle pose. Utthita Trikonasana, 3 cycles of breath. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Last breath in. Rise all the way up. Warrior 2, gaze forward. High crescent lunge. Again, inhale, reach your arms high. Now, rather than just kind of stomp your left foot forward to chair, do it in slow motion. Take 5 counts to get there. So hinge forward, heavy in your right foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lightly land in your chair. Make sure toes are together, heels apart. And either open twist by sending your left arm forward and your right arm back, or prayer twist, hands to heart. Twist, extend your chest. Option for side crow, maybe you fly the arms here. It's 3 breaths. Inhale, 1. Ujjayi, exhale. Shoulders down the back. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Last breath in. And last breath out. Circle back to chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift. Breath in. Fold, step back to high plank pose. Hold in your high plank for 3 breaths. You can always tap your knees down or join me in side plank. Walk your left hand forward, right arm up towards the sky. Inhale, 1. Ujjayi, exhale. Inhale, 2. Push the floor down and away. Exhale. Last breath in. And last breath out. Circle to high plank. Inhale, get long. And then a vinyasa of your choosing. I'm doing cobras today. Up dogs, always great if that feels good for your body. And back to downward facing dog. Exhale. Okay. Tap down to your knees, all 4s. Left leg floats straight back. Breath in. Lower chest and chin. Exhale. Inhale, press up. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, get long. Exhale, lower chest and chin. Inhale, straighten the arms, knee to nose. Inhale, extend. Last time, lower chest and chin. Inhale, straighten, knee to nose. Curl the right toes under, left leg lifts for down dog split. Level off your shoulders and lift your left leg to work your left glute. Pull the ribs in. One more breath in to take your left leg any amount higher. Exhale, step through, lower your right knee and take your arms overhead. Okay, palms facing forward, breathe in. Cactus the arms, exhale, lunge. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Inhale to lift. Exhale. Lift all the way up. Good. Curl your right toes under, float to high crescent lunge. Take a full breath in. Open warrior two, exhale. So again, typically in warrior two, you would look forward over your left arm, but just turn your head to face the right. So the wall that your hips are facing. And find this action from your arms. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, shrug. Inhale, open. And exhale, shrug. Last time, inhale, open. And exhale, shrug. Inhale, and just settle in. Old school warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Back toes point slightly in. Engage your core. And reach into your triangle pose. Breathe, breathe, breathe. So what we're doing now, these movements can open up the physical level of the throat chakra. So our anatomical body or our gross body, the part of ourselves that we can touch. And this can become tight and constricted from lifestyle, anatomical ways that we organize our body, sitting in chairs, etc. Technique, rise up, warrior two. But sometimes we can get a lump in our throat or tightness because we have something that we're not expressing. The truth about ourselves, the truth about our relationship, our circumstance, perhaps some experience of authenticity. Pivot to high crescent lunge. So we can do all the mobilizing possible with our body, but maybe nothing's going to loosen up, nothing is going to give until we shift the metaphysical circumstances in our life. Lightly step to chair pose. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Twist to your left. Either send right arm forward, left arm back, or your prayer twist. Knees in line, hips in line. 3 breaths to go. Inhale, 1. Exhale. Inhale, 2. Exhale. Great. Last breath in and last breath out. Chair pose. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Halfway lift, long spine. And flow through your vinyasa, or you can just step back to downward facing dog, your choice. So part of our practice is to get honest with ourselves about what might be causing a blockage in my throat chakra, or maybe the opposite. Maybe my throat chakra is so open. I'm gossiping. I can't shut up. I'm oversharing all the time, sharing too much. So we look at both the physical cause and the metaphysical cause. And you can do a 2-prong approach to bring balance to yourself. Physical practices, yoga, and then spiritual practice, getting honest about yourself, making changes in your life, doing something. Okay, float your right leg all the way up towards the sky. Step to a lizard lunge, right foot outside of your right wrist. Okay, I like to be on my fingertips for this. Just a few little bounces in your hips to loosen everything up. Okay, first one will go slow. Tap your back knee down. Reach your right arm forward. And now squeeze your heel to your glute. Like you've got a grapefruit back there. You don't want to drop it. In fact, you want to make some juice. So squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then sweep your right arm across the horizon. I don't care if you touch it or not. That's not really the point. We just want to have the hamstring active. So the back of the leg is active. And turn, rotate your chest. Okay, slowly release the back foot to the earth. Circle your hand forward and find your lifted lizard. Lengthen your chest. Take a full breath in. Tap the knee down. Exhale. This is on the breath now. Rotate your chest. Come forward. Lifted lizard breath in. Now exhale. Squeeze. If you're inclined to grab your foot, give it a good grab. Okay. So first, just pull the heel in. And turn your shoulder forward so we can get into the left hip flexor. Melt your hips forward. 2 more breaths. Okay, now turn your chest up. Kick the foot away so you can get a good rotation in your chest, a loosening up of your shoulder. Nicely done. Slowly release. Come back to lifted lizard. Shuffle your right foot to the midline and rise to warrior 2. Okay. Interlace fingers behind the back body. Draw your knuckles down. Lift your heart high. Inhale. Melt forward. Humble warrior. Exhale. 3 cycles of breath. Move your right hip to the left and get a little bit heavier in your left foot. And finally, relax your head. 1 more breath in. Good. And 1 more breath out. Rise to reverse triangle. Straighten your right leg. Reach up and back. Juicy side bend. Get long. Exhale. Warrior 2. Lunge deeply. Breathe in. Lift your pelvic floor and float into half moon. Lift up. We have opened the front of the left hip. So if you're called to Chapasana, left hand can reach back for a bind. Roll the chest open. 2 breaths to go. Last breath in. Good. And release. Soft landing all the way back into your warrior 2. Exhale. Pivot high crescent lunge. Step to chair pose, Utkatasana. Now shift the weight to your left foot. Hands to heart, right thigh draws up. You're standing on your left leg. We did a switcheroo. Sit back, figure 4. Sit back, sit back, sit back. Great. Straighten your leg almost halfway. So the left leg's not totally straight. And see if you can hover your right ankle in free space. So it's just above the knee, not quite figure 4. And this is just our setup for Nadarajasana. So right hand reaches back, catch your foot, and reach forward. Lift your chest. Square your hips. Take 2 big breaths. Inhale 1. Exhale. Inhale 2. And exhale. Rise up and release in your mountain pose. Full breath in and full breath out. Inhale, lift your arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Halfway lift and flow through your vinyasa or step back to downward facing dog. We've got 1 more vinyasa after this. So just measure your energy and be honest with yourself about what's appropriate for you. Float left leg towards the sky and then step to your lizard lunge. Lower right knee to the earth. Actually, before you lift your knee, come onto your fingertips and take those little bounces. Great for the fascia, in fact. And then release your right knee. Take your left arm forward, squeeze right heel to right sitting bone. Make grapefruit juice. And then reach back for your twist. Okay, take the arm forward, lifted lizard, breath in. Tap the knee down, exhale, twist. 2 more. Inhale, lifted lizard. Exhale, twist. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Last time, inhale, lifted lizard. And exhale, twist. Maybe you catch the foot this time. And then once you've got it, pull the heel to your sitting bone, melt forward, activate your right glute. 2 more breaths. Good. And now keep the bind, but kick your foot away to open your chest. Draw the ribs in. Open the shoulder. And then slowly release back to lifted lizard. Okay. Left foot shuffles to the midline. Rise to warrior 2, gaze forward. Interlace fingers behind the back body, non-dominant thumb on top. Lift up through your chest. Good. And exhale, humble warrior. Immediately relax your head. Let it go, shake it out. And rise, reverse triangle, straighten your left leg. Lift up and back, reach. Level off your side body. Warrior 2. Okay, here we go. Half moon, come forward, float up, take up a lot of space. Option for Chapasana. If you're called to that, kick into your hand, turn your chest up, keep lifting the leg. 2 breaths to go. Last inhale. And soft landing back into warrior 2. Exhale. Pivot high crescent lunge. Step to chair pose, Utkatasana. Shift the weight to your right foot, hands to heart, left thigh pulls in. We did the switcheroo. And then sit back into figure 4. I've noticed sometimes there's the case where there will be a person who struggles so much with vulnerability that they actually use oversharing. It's a bit of a paradox as a way to avoid vulnerability. Because as long as you are sharing, you're in control. So able to talk, run the show, but listening would be impossible because listening means you are no longer setting the agenda. And that's really tough for some people. It's really scary. Okay, come up about halfway in your squat, hover your left ankle, flex your foot, and then send it back for Nadarajasana. Catch the left foot, kick into your hand, reach forward, draw the ribs in. 2 more breaths. Can you get a little brighter, a little more stable? And then release to mountain pose. Close your eyes. Full breath in. And out. Final vinyasa. Inhale, arms reach up. And exhale, fold. Halfway lift. And move through or step back to dog pose. Your choice. Ruby. Okay, so still with a little bit more back bendy because that will help with the throat. Tap down to all 4s and curl your back toes under. Walk your hands back to grab hold of your heels. for dancing Ustrasana, dancing camel. So take your right arm forward and over to the left, so in a diagonal. Start to lift your hips. Reach your arm all the way up towards the sky behind you. That's a breath in. And then just retrace it, reach forward and swing it back. Exhale. Okay. Hinge forward, left arm across the diagonal, and then all the way up and overhead. Breath in and exhale. Reach forward and back. So a few more on your own. Just kind of get lost in it. And you can stick with this. If full camel makes sense for you at any point, you can take your full camel, press the hips forward. 2 breaths to go. Slowly rise, release your feet, come to sit on your heels, close your eyes. Let the energy of the back bend settle. Find a child's pose, arms back by your side. Slowly rise. Good. For a seated hip opener, a couple of options. We can have the right shin in front first. So you can do Sukhasana, crossing at the shins, middle of your shins. You can play with Gomukhasana, stacking your knees. Or if it makes sense for your body, there's double pigeon or fire log. Okay, I'm gonna stick with Gomukhasana for me. It's just my Goldilocks pose, my happy medium, and your choice. Some people are very content to sit upright. You might choose to fold forward. You may want to put a block or a blanket under your hips. If you have a block, sometimes it's nice to prop up your forehead when you fold forward. We are here for a little bit longer. It's somewhat of a passive hold, but there's still a little bit of yang in it. Maybe that's expressed through extending your heels away from the midline. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Just keep on breathing. If truthfulness was easy, we would all be practicing it and live in a very different world. Truthfulness is difficult. That's why it's a practice, something we have to do every day to become better at it. And for some of us, part of it being truthful is waking up every single day and fighting against labels, fighting against being diminished with stereotypes and characterizations that don't reflect the fullness of who we are. But then we feel perhaps in that fight, we are diminishing connection. But when we don't risk standing on our own and speaking truth, then we are forced into the very categories that we resist. And we further perpetuate our own disconnection and our loneliness. So perhaps in this case, the connection is not to the person labeling us, but the connection to our true self, our connection to what matters the most. Deep breath in and out. Slowly lift up. Might straighten your legs and give them a little shake. Great. And then second side, this time your left knee or shin is on top. And up to you, yogis, whether you're upright, which you might be for part of the time, or you might move into your fold. Part of our Satya is discerning between observation and judgment. So if there's a yoga pose, for example, that you really, really, really dislike, there might be some judgment that's expressed. This pose doesn't do anything for me. This pose is stupid. So you're judging the pose. Yeah. Or maybe you judge the teacher. Why does this teacher always teach half moon? I hate half moon. Can't he be more creative? Right? Judge the teacher. Or maybe we judge ourselves. Why can't I do this pose? Why am I not better at this pose? Judgment. Where a compassionate observation would be, I'm really challenged by this pose in this moment. So all of this to say that very often we can weaponize truth, say something really offensive and hurtful and follow it up with, I'm just being honest. Just living my truth, man. And maybe you are just being honest. But a yoga practice is compassionate truth. That's Satya. And sometimes that's tough medicine to receive, right? We're not necessarily boxing with kid gloves or telling white lies. We're not being inauthentic, but our energy and our intention is from a highest vibration, not one of judgment. Last inhale. And breathe all the way out. And start to lift up. Give your legs a good shake. And lower down to your back body. And some of you at this time might practice plow pose, which is a pretty good throat chakra pose, but some compression on the throat. I'm going to opt just for Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees wide. So that's a good option as well. Just a nice way to relax the body. Before we speak, there are 3 questions we can ask ourselves. I've heard of these in Buddhist circles. I'm not sure if that's where they've come from, but they're all over the place. We can ask ourselves, is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? And is it kind? Draw your knees together. If you're in plow, come on back. We're doing fish pose. Final throat chakra breath. So palms will be face down, just under your hips. Extend your legs so they're long and zip the legs together and the inner ankles together like a mermaid tail. And then extend the toes forward so you're lengthening the tops of your ankle, almost like you were a Barbie doll foot. Walk your elbows towards the midline so you can prop up on your forearms and take just the crown of the head to the earth. And it's pretty minimal weight on the head, like 20% of what you can load onto the head. We'll do 3 lion's face exhales. So full breath in. Inhale. Stick out your tongue. Exhale. Last one, breath in. Make sure you bug out your eyes. And then lower down to your back. Shake out your body a little bit. Turn the palms face up. And we'll have a full Shavasana. I'll keep the time on this for you so you can let go. Just let your heel bones be heavy. Relax your glutes and your outer hips and your low back, your middle back, and your upper back. Just feel the back of your ribs widen. Relax the side of your neck, the back of the neck, the front of the neck. Imagine the inside of your throat was hollow. Just be aware of the space inside of your throat. And then relax that space. Relax your whole face. Relax your whole body. Shavasana. Find some easy movement. Deepen your breath. And roll over to either side. Gently press to a final seat of your choosing. Eyes closed. So we'll finish with a little meditation and inquiry. Is there some part of your life where you're not in full expression of your truth? An experience, a relationship. Maybe it's honesty with yourself. Or whatever this circumstance is, you can ask, what do I stand to lose by denying myself honesty? What's at stake? And what do I stand to gain by embracing truthfulness, by embracing Satya as a practice? You get really big in your vision. Don't half-ass it. What could you gain? The sky is the limit. Hands to heart. Thank you so much for practicing. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.